Ah, so it's me again. Oh man. So I'm going to talk about this, and it's been a question I've been wanting to answer for a long time, and it's been asked of by an individual who doesn't like me. I don't know why this individual doesn't like me. I don't have anything against the individual myself. Uh, I think it's jealousy, really, because he can't be me. But not everybody can be me. So I'm just gonna put it out there like that. I think that's funny. But so around in May of this year, I was asked to be part of my property owner association's board as a VP. But before I became a member of that board, I was vetted by the developer of the community for a whole month. For a whole month, the whole month of April. I think it started really in March, but the whole month of April, the developer would call me and ask me questions every day, every week on Tuesday around about 4, I mean, not 4, but 10 o'clock. He would call me up with our community development coordinator, and we would have a good 30 to maybe a 30 minutes to an hour conversation about the community. Now, I live on the west, in the west section of my community, and I was really concerned about how the west section was looking. We were getting ready to come out of the spring and into the summer, and there were yards that were looking a mess, abandoned cars or cars people were working on in the driveway. It just seemed like no one was following the code of conduct or the CCRs, the bylaws, and the deed restrictions that were in there. And I was trying to get our community to see that, hey, when your yard looks bad, my yard looks bad. It doesn't matter how much I cut my yard or how I groom it or how green my grass is. If your yard next to mine looks bad, then it makes the whole street look bad. And I just didn't want it to look bad. And the developer took interest in the fact that I cared and I was compassionate about going to my neighbors and actually reminding them that, hey, we got deed restrictions and CCRs and stuff like that. And a lot of people don't understand too. When you buy a house in a HOA or a POA, really in the state of Texas, there are really no HOAs. All HOAs are really POAs, property owner associations. But when you buy a house in these what they call master plan developments, that there are rules and regulations that you have to live by. You just can't say, well, this is my house and I can do whatever I want to do, and this is my yard and I don't have to cut it until I want to. No, they can actually fine you. They can put a lien on your house. They can have you evicted. They can do all those things to you if you don't follow those rules and regulations. So I took it upon myself in the west section to like just go to my neighbors when I saw stuff, and I would stop and talk with them and tell them, hey, we have these rules, and to keep you from having to pay these fines or getting these letters that you don't understand. Because I kept seeing letters in our app, that we have an app for our community where you can see where people are complaining about. I got a letter saying, I violated this or I violated that, or I need to clean this up, or I need to power wash my driveway, all this other stuff. You would see these things, and I was like, hey, to keep from getting those things, you need to know what your deed restrictions say, what your CCR say, and what your bylaws are. And I found out that a lot of people didn't know these things. Even when they bought their house and they got all this information, they didn't read it. So they didn't know. So, I kind of like helped educate. I was communicating with them and educating them. And the developer saw that I was doing a really good job, and things started to change in the West, and people were cutting their grass and removing stuff out of their driveways and doing stuff. So he came to me after that month long of just asking questions and talking to me about how we could work together and make the community better. He said that you would be a great asset for the board, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on the the property owner association board as the West vice president. And I'm going to put another vice president in the main section. And he said, would you be willing to do that? And I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, because I care about my community. I care about, what's going on here. And I want to see us do better. So that is how I actually got on my POA board of directors. I was appointed by the developer based on the fact that he saw that I cared about my community. I cared about what was going on here, and I wanted to see changes happen. And actually, a lot of good things came from that. 6 months later, he actually asked me before this came up that if there was another amenity, what would it be? He said, let me know before December 31st that I could add to the community that they would want. And I gave him 3 things, and one of those things now is going to be built this coming year. And a lot of things that are happening. There are things that's going to happen in the west of our section that are going to be fixed, and we don't have to pay for our POA fees. So, it worked out best. So the individual that is asking this question, I want you to know that that's how I got on the POA board. I didn't swindle my way or have to do anything special or cheat my way on or anything like that. I just basically showed that I cared about my community and I wanted to see things better. And the developer took interest in that and saw that I would do a great job, and I am doing a great job because I'm still on the board. And so that's that. I just wanted to put that out there because I have been thinking about how I was going to do this for a good minute, and so now I've said something about it. If you have any comments or like to ask any questions about this, please feel free to comment on this video, and I'm telling you, I will answer you. Other than that, have a great day and a wonderful weekend.